Hi, I'm Albert Bright, and today we want to ask some questions about the digital marketing and about the motivation thing. Yes, if you can introduce yourself and.
Yes, my name is Jimmy Westerheim. I'm the founder of The Human Aspect, the world's first digital life experience library.
During your presentation, you talked a lot about motivation, about how to make things done, and don't accept the things what other people say to you. It's like the way I understood the presentation.
Yeah.
And let's say if you take traditional and online business, it differs a little bit, but both we know that traditional and offline business use online marketing for promote services and products. So let's say for people who just want to get started, or they just consider to get started but they don't know yet, they want to quit their job, for example, but what should be their first steps? I mean, based on your experience, you had your life situation, you might have job from 9 to 5, and once you decided, you didn't?
No, I quit.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. But you had some mindset when you decided to change it. And it's not so easy when you have some obligations, whatever. So what was your life situation and what recommendation you can give to someone who is in your position?
For me, I had been working in traditional shipping, international shipping for 7 years, in a private company, hard working, year round, clock around. But for me, it was full of capitalism. It wasn't really motivating me. After I felt that I learned the tasks, I had gotten to the level where I didn't necessarily learn a lot more. I loved learning in that company. So starting in private companies where you are allowed to do more than in more traditional public companies where you have to pick people's coffee for 3 years, it's a waste of time, So I'm very happy about that. But after that, I realized I have to do something of a bigger value for me. Mm-hmm. And that's when an old idea came up again. And this is what makes humans humans, to create the life experience library. And the first thing I did was to fully test the idea. Because I believe in doing it fully or not at all. So doing it next to my part-time job, if I did that, I would fail. I am 100% sure. It would have never been The Human Aspect. Okay. So I took the project to the street and I said, okay, how can I really test if this is a good idea or not? Because in your own head it's a good idea, but hey, what do we know?
But in reality it's totally different.
Exactly. I took a camera and I started stopping people on the street that I had never met and asked them about their toughest challenge, which was the whole concept of the Life Experience Library, for something they have never heard about. The name was The Human Aspect, but for them, it was nothing. It was an Instagram account with 2 pictures, that was what we were. And I asked them to share. And my value proposition was, you share your life's toughest challenge, how you've overcome it, and what you have learned to help another person that is still in the challenge. Are you willing to do it? And they did it, and we had 30 people who did it in the first 1.5 weeks. We were 2 friends who didn't know anything about a camera. It was really bad footage and all that, but the content was amazing. And that's when we realized that this can actually work. Because a lot of people said to us, you're never going to get people to talk about their secrets or their toughest challenge or when they cried, and never. They said, but we proved them wrong. And that's when I realized that, okay, let's go, let's do it. And then we did. But like I said from stage as well, we didn't do it the traditional way, because then we would never get there. We found someone, an organization, a company, that was an expert in creating digital websites and services to build it for us, because I'm not a technologist.
So you use outsourced company, you have already some money.
I had no money. We convinced them to do it pro bono because we sold the idea. We said to them, do you want to be part of building something?
All right,
awesome?
Share. All right, okay, like a shares, like collaboration. Good.
No, we're a foundation. There was no shares, nothing. They did it because they wanted to after work. So all the developers working for this company said, we want to do this project after office hours because we love it. And they did. And then suddenly I had a product I could go and show someone. So my advice today in 2018 is test your idea. but don't test it with your friends only, because your friends will always be helpful. You know, they will be like, it's a good idea. You know,
good idea. Try. Yeah.
But when you say you had a project and you tested this project, you talked to real people and realized
and
it
people
works.
didn't know.
Yeah. And that's a good beginning. But the next step, when you already have some beginning customers, you want to spread it among bigger amount of customers.
Yes.
And in this way, probably online marketing, Facebook. And I know it's quite simple. You put advertisement, it appears on someone pages, people click on your website and they start cooperation fees. It's like theoretical stuff. But in practice, it might differ. So you might need somehow to propose your idea so the people get following you. They try to realize what you're doing. What was your experience when you just started with advertisement? How did you approach customers in online business so they started to follow you? And
my biggest mistake in the beginning was trying to believe that I needed to fool Facebook. I needed to understand the algorithm. I needed to do what no one else figured out, to be the smart one. You know, that was what I believed, because that's what you had to do in the past to outsmart media, to get an article. You know, you had to be clever and I was in the newspaper, and you get attention for free. But now you have a marketing tool that's accessible to anyone for free that wants you to succeed. Because what is the business idea of Facebook? They want usage, they want engagement inside Facebook. So the best advice is to understand that you're not working against Facebook, you're working with them. You ask and you figure out what works on Facebook and make a product for Facebook. Don't try to make a product telling people to go out of Facebook, posting links and stuff like that.
Your point was to understand Facebook algorithm and to collaborate.
Just to ask, because they give advice. It's on their homepage. They tell you exactly what to do. Inside ads, inside boost, inside. But you have to make content for Facebook. But we have a webpage. But people automatically will go from this content if they like it, because we gave them like a teaser of the full interview on Facebook. But it was made for Facebook. It was not like a little cut. It was a Facebook specific video.
But for example, video, when you post videos, do you post them in YouTube or Facebook, because they have different platforms? Or
Facebook for us, and then we have
YouTube,
Vimeo, where it's playing behind the webpage, and we use YouTube as a regular distribution channel, just marketing. Free marketing.
Right. As I know that YouTube is usually like a long-term video. Usually you can put that, because the Facebook they're using for short videos, like 10-15 minutes maybe. And in YouTube they already, when they open YouTube, they are ready to listen it for a long term. So how, for example, do you have long videos? Almost
all our videos are long. You know, the interviews are 15 to 50 minutes.
All right, 15 minutes. Okay, it's like TEDx talk. You need to be like about 15 minutes.
50.
15
to 50.
All right. So it works. People are watching for a long time in Facebook.
We have incredible, we have numbers no one even believe that on Facebook, but that's because our content is people. People will always be interested in people, and that's just we're the perfect for Facebook. That doesn't go for everyone. So a general advice would to be. That's what I tell all the entrepreneurs we're working with here as well, the young ones asking me questions, is tell people why you are doing it. Why are you willing, like I said from stage, to do this next to your full-time job, next to your studies, or be crazy and quit your job and do it full-time to take the risk? Why? If you tell me that on Facebook, you are going to get engagement. The question is then just how big after that. And then you start sharing your product after that. And share it with your friends in the beginning, like specific advices. Share it with your friends, ask them to share it. Share it in groups that are relevant. So if you have a dating app, share it in a dating group. Don't share it everywhere and nowhere. Share it where you believe people will like it. Because then the algorithm gets positive feedback and you're pushed up on people's newsfeed, and it's free marketing. But you have to be just smart and just do what Facebook asks you to do, basically, and be real. That's what sells on Facebook. We should never ever forget that Facebook was and will always be for people, but now businesses use it. But the best businesses on Facebook, are the real ones. I don't know if you've seen the video of which was it? It was a deaf person that was talking about sound. I don't remember which brand it was, but it's a person that's deaf that is talking, so he can speak, and then he's talking about his life and the beauty of listening. We're not listening anymore. We're just in these advice. And in the end of the video, you see that it's an actual video for speakers. It's Hi-Fi. I think it's Hi-Fi Club or something like that. I watched the whole thing. It's 5 minutes for speakers. I don't even want speakers, but it was a story, and I loved it. I was drawn into it. This guy, and I realized pretty quickly he was deaf because you can hear a little bit on the way he speaks, and I loved it. And it was really well made. And I watched the whole thing. It's been seen by millions. Yeah, and in the end, it was like they're selling speakers, and I'm like,
this is the same stuff. Like you start with a private story, and then you can you start with the private story as well.
Yes.
And that was engaging the audience, and it was interesting to listen.
Yeah.
And
very inspiring stories. Thanks for your time, and good luck with your.
Thank you. Send me the recording as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.